Welcome to the Creation Evaluation Station. Today we will be evaluating Lloyd's race car EVO. I just finished editing the Lloyd's mechs set, and I figured we'll go along with the Lloyd theme and continue with his set. So it's a 6+ set. Oh, I almost forgot. There's the back. Shows the different levels of construction. I mean, some of those I wouldn't exactly, especially this one. It's all falling apart. Not quite functioning at all. But anyways, as I was saying, this is set 71763. It's a 6+ set. Has 279 pieces and retails for $29.99 on the Lego website. I really like the little go-kart that comes with it, and the car doesn't look too bad. I think I like Jay and Nia's car a little bit better, but this one's not too bad looking. I think we've had other Lloyd's cars that look better than this. This one's not too bad. Anyways, let's get it put together and take a closer look that way rather than looking at the box. Here we have the contents of the box. That's a warped folded instruction booklet. We have a small sticker sheet with what, 4 or 5 stickers on it? 5 stickers on it? That's not too bad. And then over here we have bags 1, bag 2, bag 3, and bag 4. Though bag 4 looks like they're putting the rest of the pieces in there because it's not very full. But that's that. Here we have our cast of characters for the set. And I know what they're going for with the little guy with the short legs, but I really wish they'd use the newer legs with the posability, because one way or another he's going to be wielding a weapon. I've had him have the dynamite in his hand before, and this time he's got a gun. But either one, it makes him a bit top heavy, and posability of the legs lets you balance that out just a little bit so he stands right. And I know he looks fine there, but he's, you know, kind of pegged in there with on the studs. But if you stand him up just straight on a regular surface, he's most likely going to fall over unless you remove his weapon. And yeah, I mean, those little legs work good for little kids, but if you're going to have a more action-oriented figure and you want them to have weapons and such, they need something to help them balance. Other than that, that's my only gripe with the really small legs. I mean, it's nice to give you some variation with your figures. A lot of these snake guys are the same. I mean, this season, this wave is better than the last one. The last one we didn't get any variation whatsoever. And this one we have a black head or an orange head with reverse colors. But, you know, it's like I said, better than nothing like last season, which had really cool colors, but they needed just a little bit of variation. Other than that, you know, we got Lloyd here with the usual kind of stylized uniform that doesn't match. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but for those who haven't seen my videos on these yet, on the figures, I'm not too fond of the new ninja costumes. They're all right by themselves, but when you stand them next to the snake guys, as you can see here, theirs are very detailed, and the ninjas are more simplified, stylistic looking, and it just isn't the best. They kind of clash with one another. But other than that, they look pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, the ninjas do look nice. They just seem out of place with the other characters. With that, let's strip them down and take a closer look at all that detail, and also check him out with his wig. And here we are back with him, and yeah, you can see their detail a lot better now. And there he is with his hairpiece. I know I called it a wig earlier. I laughed at myself. It isn't like they're bald. Technically, they do have hair. But, you know, breaking the immersion. And here is their backs. Looking pretty much as good as their fronts. You know, same style with the ninja on the back as in the front. And same for the snake guys. And we'll just pop his head off, or his hairpiece off, and there's his goofy face. Love the eyebrow and the sneer. The smirk, I should say. Here we have everything together. We'll take a little closer look at some of the pieces here. But I must say, I really like this little go-kart. And I do like the main car as well. So, I'm kind of liking this set. Just for an overall, we'll talk more about that later. You know, this isn't the first time I've had one of these, but there's something ironic about a snake man who's got arms and legs and is also wearing additional arms, considering, you know, snakes don't have any limbs whatsoever. Yeah, let's take a closer look at these vehicles. First, let's look at the bad guys' vehicles. I put the little short guy in here, and he can't sit in there, but he can stand, which, you know, looks fine. Looks like he's holding on to this. Let's take him off for a moment. And this is a pretty simple build. It's got some interesting colors. They've been using this color scheme with the bad guys' vehicles, although they haven't had a super lot of them, but you'll notice it matches the helicopter from Jane Nia's race car, EVO, and got a nice little flame exhaust there, or jet propelled maybe, and it apparently works really well because this thing flies. Yeah, so that really moves. Now, I'm pretty sure that this part here in the front is for looks, but these arm things come up, and I'm not sure if it's also, I mean, is it just for looks? Because, I mean, it does look like a roll type bar for the front, but you could also, you know, put like the flames on or something else, like with some other kind of weapon or something on the front of it. Ultimately, I think it's just supposed to look like a roll cage, but it's a really cute, fun vehicle, and boy does it roll. Let's focus on Lloyd's car here. Now, it's part of the EVO series, so you're supposed to like step it up, and the stripped down version actually doesn't look too bad. Like, first take this off, you take off the armor along the side, not all the armor off the side. Actually don't remember how far back this goes. We'll leave this on here for now, because I wanted to look at this. And the front comes off as well. Yes. But just this alone, it looks kind of nice. It looks more like a buggy than a car, with the way the front end and the tires are up a little higher. It's not bad looking, and this car's got some interesting streamline to it. And I think this is supposed to come off too, so it's more like that. And you can see there's some nice curves, and these katana here definitely emphasize some of the curves. And I just pulled that off again. So I don't think that's supposed to get off. There we go. And yep, the cockpit doesn't open up, it just comes off. And he sits in there, and this is where I have some small problems with the thing. Now, on a lot of their vehicles, I have to take their swords out for them to sit in. And this one, I had to take the sword off and the sheath because there is no room for the sheath back there. That being said, as you can see, I just put the sword in there. There is room for his weapon in there, and probably toss, yeah, his sheath in there as well. So you won't be losing him quite so easily. Though, still would rather have an attachment somewhere for them. I really like how they use the blades back here. Accentuate some of these curves and edges. And instead, you just put this right on there like that, and there he is back in there. Yeah, even the front, he's got actually the headlights under there for if you don't have the front of the car on. But it's kind of a cute coupe vehicle looking thing like this. Yeah, when you put the parts back on there, looks much more like a race car, including putting in that zooped up engine, which, by the way, this zooped up engine also has shooters on the front of it. Which they did a similar thing with the Jay and Nia's race car, except this one are not posable like those, which is a bit of a shame. You can't point it up at the air and fire, but this set, its other vehicle is also a ground vehicle, so you know, if you're chasing them, forward shooting is probably will work just fine. Though if the guy knows you're chasing him, he's going to be swerving all over the place trying to avoid you. And of course, we have our flag here with our tag on it. But yeah, I got same size tires, front and back. With this very low rider, really a low rider. And as far as let's get that down just a little bit. There you go. The roll's pretty good. Now, nowhere near. As you see, it stops. So it doesn't roll quite as good as the little go-kart, but it's not bad. But it's set, you could definitely have some fun car chases. So let's get back to the desk and give it a good final eval. Welcome back to the desk, and just gotta say, I really do like this set. I like Jay and Nia's race car just a little bit more, but this is still a really good set. It's hard to beat that set with that whole vehicle for the bad guys, almost full-size vehicle opposed to this little one. That being said, I still love this little go-kart. And let's get into the rating. Appearance. As I said, I like this little go-kart. It looks good. It looks serviceable. It's fun to play with. So it looks good. The car looks really good. And even if you strip it down with the EVO stuff removed, it still looks pretty good. It looks better with all the other stuff on him. The color scheme's great with the interspersed, gold trim here and there. Looks nice and even throughout. And overall, so as far as appearance is getting, it's getting a 9. Right? Yeah. It's getting a 9. Now, functions, there isn't a lot of things that function here. The cars roll well. This rolls amazing. And this one rolls pretty good. I'm not going to show it here because I don't want it falling off. But they both have rubber wheels, and I don't know if these are terrible because this doesn't roll as good as this because of whatever wheel mechanism's in. I think it's actually partially the way the tires or the weight of the vehicle presses down on the weight of the car so that there's more contact with the ground with these rubber tires, and that's why it doesn't quite roll as good as something smaller. I'm not sure about that. I mean, they do have different wheels and stuff, but this thing rolls really great. This one rolls okay. Not too much different from some of the other larger cars that they have. It still rolls good. You just can't really fling it far. This can go for miles if you give it a good enough roll. And function, that works well. You got the guns here in the front. Now, I probably wouldn't have even considered it, but when I did Jay and Nia's car, it was very nice that the guns came out, which isn't necessary here, but they didn't just come out, they could also be posed, so they could be adjusted height and angle. Makes it a little better, you know. I'm not saying these are bad. If I hadn't done the other set first, I probably wouldn't even think about that with this one. But my biggest problem with the function is simply the pilot's seat, and that you have to actually take his sheath for his sword off. Now, I've had to take the swords off before. That's kind of a no-brainer, although it would be nice if they built it with the room. And the thing is, there is enough room in there to make room for him and his sheath, and maybe even his sword, for that matter, although I think the sword would dip down below his butt, but I'm not sure about that. But part of the problem is they can't make enough room in there because of this cockpit piece here. It would have to be raised up higher because this thing is just laying on his head. It's like, I almost think it's pressing on it, but it seems to fit okay. So as far as function, it's good. There's a couple things that are wrong. It could be a little bit better, and it's getting an 8. Now, the fun here, this is great for a couple reasons. Okay, you have a bigger car. The good guys have a large vehicle, but there's only one of them. Over here, we got 2 bad guys and a small vehicle to it. It kind of balances out, so we have a nice balance between good guys and bad guys. For once, it doesn't happen that often with these sets, but that makes the fun evener, so to speak. And then you have the wonderful cannons up front that, you know, you're chasing down the bad guy or whatever, and you're firing them off. Cars roll good, like I said. This thing is amazingly good, and this is good as well. So there's plenty of fun to have racing around with these cars, and therefore the fun is getting a 10. It's not just, you know, they could have just had one little car and the guy, we'd be a little bit off balance, but with the second bad guy, it's a nice balance. Nice balance. So it's getting a 10. Now, techniques, there's not a lot of technique here that is amazing or anything. There's good technique. Like this car, the base uses a lot of technique pieces to basically strengthen the core of the car, to build it up. I mean, the main cockpit area uses a regular car piece, but then extended out, you have the Technic piece, which give it more strength and stuff. And then there's, you know, built studs on side building techniques here along the side and the front, and the use of these I'll essentially call armor pieces, because they are the new armor pieces for mechs, or I don't know, maybe they're going to use them for something else later on this year, like a knight or something. But they're definitely like an armor piece, and the inclusion into this build is really nice. But there isn't anything overly amazing, so Technique is going to be getting an 8. So we do our math, add it all up, divide by 4, and we get an 8.75. And with that, we're going to push it up to a 9 So we round up to the nearest 20 half. So yes, this set is getting a 9, and it's a decent, really pretty good set overall. I'm really happy, I guess, with these car sets. It's like the dragons, or at least some of the dragons, are a little bit on the poor side, which makes me sad. And I'm not a big car fan, but the cars are pretty good this core wave. But on to the price. Now, at $29.99 and 278 parts, it comes to 10 cents, which is exactly right on the button. Now, it's a little bit more than 10 cents because I just chop off the end instead of rounding up or down. So I guess I do round down. But if you get the whole number, it's 0.107, so it's almost 11 cents. Still decent, just lightly above, but it really doesn't matter too much. It's not a big significance. And so calling it 10 cents a good price, you know, that's fine. And therefore, it's getting a G for good. So this is a really decent set with a final grade of a 9G. And yeah, I am quite happy with it. The build experience with the vehicle is really good. What you get when you're done is rather nice and fun to play with. So we got one more set to go that I have for this line, the Red Dragon, Kai's Fire Dragon, or something it's called. And then I have one more set, but I gotta wait for that one. I will be doing a top 10 sorta video again. So that was kind of fun to make, and I think a lot my viewers did enjoy that. And I will probably be doing something similar to this again, but it's going to have to wait until that big set comes in. And yes, they're sorta. And I know that's not how you spell sort of. It's actually 2 words, sort of. But you know, it's fun, and it's sort of because there aren't 10 sets. But we're going to count down the sets anyways. I know YouTube likes top 10 videos, so that too, and a lot of people like top 10 videos, which is why YouTube likes top 10 videos. So we'll be doing that. Now, before I say anything more, make sure you check your subscriber list, not just to my video, but to other videos too. YouTube is doing an audit, and sometimes subs get dropped. I've lost a couple. I don't know if it's because of that. If it's because people didn't like my videos or changed their mind, that's fine too. That's freedom. But I just want to make sure people are subbed to the video channels that they want to be subbed at. So check that. If you aren't subbed yet, go ahead and do that. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with others of similar interests. And please comment down below. Let's talk about Lego. Kind of why I'm doing this, both to show off these new sets and you know, to talk about them. So with that being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon, and reminding you that creativity is key. Here we have our leftover pieces. Not too much to talk about. There's some dots and some 1x1 single round studs. Most interesting to note is we have an extra tire. Seems rather odd. It must have been a mistake, because tires made of rubber. The rubber, I think, is actually more expensive to make than the plastic, or is just more expensive for Lego. Lego does have their own supply for petroleum for making oil, so who knows. But it's definitely odd. And then, of course, we have 2 extra weapons, which is always great. Here we have the first bag of the set. We got our main kind of chassis piece we're going to build off from. And a lot of plates. And a lot of these Technic bricks of different colors. We have a black one, some red ones, and even more gray ones. But a lot of plates, 1 by 1, 1 stud thick ones and 2 by thick ones. We have Lloyd over here. He's in this bag. Some of these white pin pieces. Transparent yellow. 1 by 1s. Circles. Got some gold ones too. There they are. And that's it for that. Got a good array of pieces here. Get us started in the first bag. Bag 2. And here we have our tires and their wheels. I like them gold wheel hubs. Got more larger pieces in here. Not too many. Plates and some other things. The snake, one of the snake bad guys are in here. And some little pieces. We got some transparent. That's just a transparent tile. Regular clear one. Then we have our red transparent 1 by 1 plate. We have some good old flame pieces. Yeah, nothing too much of extra note. But, yeah, that's bag 2. Here we have bag 3. Got our canopy for our car. Got some of our blingy gold pieces. Now this looks like the tires for the go-kart, but there's 5 of them. I don't know if there's an extra. It's a rather strange thing, considering I think the rubber parts are more pieces, but maybe an accident happened. Or maybe there's another wheel I don't know about. Got some more parts for the cart and more parts for the big car. Oop. I don't know how that happened, but there we go. Wheels for the car. There's only 4 of those, so who knows? Got the second snake guy and the rest of Lloyd's gear for his EVO power sword and sheath. We got orange ammo, but we also have regular orange 1 by 1 round studs, along with some black ones and things. Another flame piece, and that's it. Mostly smaller pieces in this. Here we have our last and final bag. Got some guns. Got some gold armor pieces of the new piece type. Engine. Some other gold pieces like these small blades. We have a lot of golden swords. And we also have Lloyd's cowl in here as well. Not much in here. It's a couple, there's a plate or 2. We have our collectible tile flag piece. Banner, that'd be what the word is. Green arrow, ammo. Dots. Other gold pieces. Triggers for our guns. And some other small pieces in here. And that's it. There's really not a lot in this last bag.